Hello NBA fans, it's Trish with the Saturday edition of Blazing Hoops. Before I get into the 10 games that are going on in the NBA today and tonight, I'm going to review my results from yesterday's picks. So yesterday started out bad on my picking, but it finished pretty good. And my game of the day, we'll point that out, it's circled in red. The New Orleans Pelicans against the Portland Trail Blazers. And I was real confident that Portland was going to take this. That's why I designated it game of the day. If you watched yesterday, if I would have just picked one game to put money on yesterday, it would have been this one. Everything else played out kind of weird yesterday. Like, I guess I just didn't do enough research for the first 3 games, and then I know I did a lot of research for the last few games. I was glad that Utah beat that huge spread, even though I didn't recommend betting on that game. Now tonight, Cleveland's going to play again, and there was an even bigger spread, so we'll get into that. I'll get into the rest of my picks. Oh, I do want to highlight, though, I'm going to do a slide about this and probably put it in my video tomorrow, but I've picked a game of the day every day this week, so Monday through Friday, and I'm going to pick another one for today. So far, I'm 4 out of 5 on my games of the day. I've had 1 loss and 4 wins, so that's good. I'm happy about that. First up in NBA action today, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. This game's pretty close, but I do believe that Philadelphia is going to take this. Both teams have had a day of rest. I think Philadelphia at home is sort of dominant and almost unstoppable. So pretty confident here. I would go with Philadelphia. The next game is the game of the day. The Phoenix Suns, the worst team in the NBA, or the second worst team in the NBA. I think they're battling Cleveland for that title. But they're taking on the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. Home game for Charlotte. Charlotte's had a day of rest. The Suns have been traveling. So completely confident in Charlotte in this. I would be shocked if they don't win. Next up, Sacramento at Detroit. I think you guys know Detroit's one of my favorite teams. Last night they actually won against Miami. I predicted that Miami would take that game, but they didn't. So, like, personally, I was happy Detroit won, but I didn't pick it that way, so that was disappointing. But tonight, I'd stay away from this one because Detroit did play last night. They're still at home, but they're not rested. Sacramento is on the road, but they didn't play yesterday, so they should be rested. So I would not go and bet this game. It's going to be too close to call. Next, the Dallas Mavericks and the Indiana Pacers. I like the Pacers here. I think this is an easy win for them. Dallas is traveled to Indiana. Neither team played yesterday, so they're both well rested, but I think Indiana is by and far the better team, the more skilled team. Next up, Milwaukee travels to Orlando. Milwaukee's well rested. This should be easy for them, an easy away win. With the Orlando Magic. It's a high spread, you know, they have to win by 10 points, but I'm pretty confident. I mean, they're either number 1 or 2 in the NBA right now. It just goes back and forth depending on how many games the teams have played, whether it's them or the Raptors, but it should be a real easy win for Milwaukee. In the next game, the Boston Celtics at the Atlanta Hawks. I do think Boston will win this, but they did play last night, and they traveled today, so they're not well rested. I think they'll win, but I don't think they're going to cover this point spread. The next game, the Memphis Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors. I spent way too much time thinking about this game and just decided that if I couldn't come to a definitive pick, that I just had to say to stay away from it, because it's too, I mean, yes, Toronto's at home. They're playing Memphis, which they'll definitely win the game, or they should. You know, the odds definitely favor them. However, that's a big spread to cover. And I think when I was looking, they've already lost to Memphis once. So I wouldn't bet this game. I just wouldn't. I mean, watch, Toronto's going to end up winning this by like 25 or 30 points, but I don't know why. My gut's just telling me, no, no, no. That probably isn't going to go the way that you would do it. So stay away from that one. Next is Miami and Chicago. And Miami played Detroit last night. But I'm still saying that they're going to win this game. Detroit won against them last night, but Chicago's a much less of a competitor to them than Detroit. So, going with Miami here. I'm pretty sure that they're going to do this against Chicago tonight. Next up, another one of my favorite teams, the LA Lakers, taking on the Houston Rockets. I think LA's been playing so well lately that they're going to be real competitive for Houston. Their defense has been, like, on point lately. I think that they're going to lose the game, but I don't think Houston's going to cover the point spread. This will be the best game, I think, of the day to watch. For me, anyway. It'll be, like, the most exciting because it'll just be, like, nonstop action back and forth. And the score probably won't get, that far apart. It'll probably stay between 2 and 3 points the whole game, which is the kind of game I like to watch. Next is Cleveland and Denver. I debated this one for a while because, okay, so Cleveland played last night. Of course, they lost. And they're going to Denver tired because they had to travel either last night or today. So watch, Denver will probably take this by 30 points. But, like, if you're betting, like, the reality is, no matter what happens, whether Denver decides halfway through the third quarter to give their bench, like, minutes, no matter what happens, they have to cover this point spread by 18. The likelihood of that happening, the odds are against it. Now, they'll probably do it, but I wouldn't bet on that. It's too risky, in my opinion. So thank you to everybody for watching, and have a happy NBA Saturday, and I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the results of today. I'll put that slide together that shows how my picks for games of the day did this past week and what my picks are for tomorrow. Thanks. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up.